Welcome to Rialto. I'm Jody Adams, and today we are going to explore favas in a million ways. They are fava beans that come in a pod, and if I were to come back as a vegetable, this is the vegetable I'd like to come back as, because as you can see, they live in a beautiful little sleeping bag-like pod with a cottony center. And they pop right out. Now that's one way to try and clean them. Another is to just take them in hand and pop them out this way. March them along and they pop out very nicely that way. Once you get to this point, don't throw away the pods. I'll talk about them later. But the fava beans, if you're feeling fancy, can be peeled right after you take them out of the pod like this. Take the outer skin off, and you split them, and then blanch them in boiling water, just for a minute, or maybe not even a minute, to soften them and bring the color up. Take the rawness out of the flavor. And if you were to, while I'm blanching that bean, I'm going to peel another one. And if you were true to favas, you would imagine you were sitting in a piazza in Italy, peel the favas, glass of Prosecco, dip them in salt, and eat them like a peanut. Delicious. But here we have them blanched, and they're ready to be used in a pasta sauce, as a garnish, in a vegetable medley, all kinds of ways. If you're not feeling fancy, you take the fava beans and blanch them in the boiling water in their skins, and when they're finished, they are a little wrinkly like this, and then they peel very easily. In fact, they peel more easily than if they're not blanched. You run the risk of having a little bit of discoloration, and if you care about that, then make it the previous way. So here we have two different ways of approaching blanching favas, and they don't take very long. Into the ice water. The ice water will stop the cooking, help hold the flavor. Not the flavor, help hold the color. You can see these that are just beautifully blanched hold their color better than the ones that were done previously. I also have here fava leaves. These are just the leaves that are part of the plant, and you can use them as you would spinach. I've cut them into strips, a chiffonade. I'm going to put them in a pasta sauce. They have a beautiful green, fresh flavor. And then last but not least are the pods. Most people think that they should just throw away the pods, but we've learned that you can make a beautiful sauce with them, or a soup, base of a soup. Blanch them again, put them in boiling water, and that will just take some of the soften the flavor a little bit. You take them out and then stew them with sauteed onions and garlic, some aniseed, maybe some fennel, celery, puree it all, and it looks like this, which is, of course, incredibly appealing in color. It's not beautiful, but it tastes great. A very typical pairing with fava beans is pecorino cheese, and I have pecorino or sheep's milk two different ways. This is a ricotta, and this is an aged dry pecorino. So I'm going to start this very simple sauce by putting some garlic in the pan. Letting it cook just to get the flavor out. Alright, adding the fava beans, and they're just going to be in there for 1 second while I put the pasta into the water. This is fresh pepperdeli. It will cook in no time. Keep this moving as well. I'll add this. Not quite ready. Okay. And I don't mind the extra water that's clinging to the pasta. That helps to make a beautiful sauce. The fava leaves. They'll just wilt right in there. The ricotta. A little more oil. Oh, I wish you could smell this. And I'm going to put in just a tad more water. And what pecorino and favas really love is a lot of pepper. So a spoonful of my beautiful fava puree at the bottom of the bowl. And then the pasta on top. Fava beans.